So recently, microexpressions have exploded in popularity, mainly due to the show Lie to Me, which is grounded in Paul Ekman's research. And let me explain what they are. Now, most facial expressions last more than a second, right? So you're not exhibiting microexpressions all the time, but sometimes you're exhibiting what's called microexpressions. And microexpressions are these slips. You don't want the person to see them. And they're these fraction of a second facial expressions that happen as a result of a slip. Unintentionally, right? So you unintentionally display how you are truly feeling. So usually how microexpression relates to lie detection is you're looking for an inconsistency or a discrepancy. So all of a sudden a woman's talking about how she's so sad that her daughter just died, and all of a sudden you see a slight smile. Right? That's an inconsistency. A mother shouldn't be upset about her mother. A mother shouldn't be upset about her daughter dying, and that kind of leads you to believe, okay, they're not really being truthful. Now, this is how microexpressions work. So Paul Ekman originally did research on the six universal facial expressions, which I'm gonna cover in later videos, but there's 6 facial expressions that no matter where you go in the world, everybody thinks they mean the same thing. So for example, smile. You can go to the most remote villages in the world, and when somebody smiles, they'll say that this person's happy, that this person likes this behavior, so on and so forth. So the cool thing about microexpressions are they're universal. Now, something that people don't understand, so microexpressions, you're not walking down the street and being like, oh, microexpression. You can't see them. They happen so quickly that you're only processing these unconsciously, right? Some people don't even display microexpressions. There's some people that don't display them, there's some people that do, all right? And the theory is that through training, you can get better at identifying people's emotions through constant exposure to these microexpressions, but they happen very, very, very quickly. The only way you could really point to a microexpression is if you have people on video camera. If you have people on video camera, you can look at things frame by frame by frame, and I could point to a micro, like, look, there's a microexpression. But when you're in real time, that's not necessarily how it works. And I think there's a confusion for most people who watch the show that, like, oh, I can look for microexpressions when you're having a conversation with somebody. No, but you can look for facial expressions. And why I think that it's so important to really pay attention to micros or to train for it is because training for microexpressions, training to look for facial expressions that last, 1/25th of a second or last very, very quickly is going to help you identify facial expressions when they happen much slower. So some people show surprise, and some people show contempt, and some people show happiness at a slower rate. It doesn't need to be a microexpression. So it's just training to get better at identifying emotions.